Hi, this is Sheila with Conscious Conversation Central, and today is Monday, February the 8th, 2021. And I am so pleased to have back as my guest today, Julia Stubbe, the Galactic Channel. So much. Did I say it right this time?
Yeah, you did. You said it right. It just cracks me up. It's like when I hear it all together, Julia Stubbe, the Galactic Channel. Yes, it's a wild ride.
But I love that, and you've got a lot going on over there. You've gotten some new information that you're channeling and bringing in together. You've got some new things going on. So I would love it if you wanted to just catch us up and tell everyone what you're doing and what you're going to be offering. And
well, thank you for giving me opportunity, Sheila. I appreciate it. I love you. It's like just the fact that you really support others and really want to shine their light, and you also do stuff for other people as well, because you're doing readings and you're live and you're there out there putting yourself out there as well. So I appreciate you and all that you offer and all that you're bringing to the world as well. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. I actually said to you right before we hit the record button, I really do feel like that's what Conscious Conversation Central is supposed to be about, is to bring these sorts of conversations more into a mainstream way of viewing things. You know, this whole idea of the esoteric sciences being woo-woo or not real or only for the spiritually inclined. For me personally, it's a thing of the past, and and it is really for me only through conversation, conscious conversation, that we are going to actually make it mainstream. And so I appreciate you and anyone and everyone who wants to have these kinds of conversations. That's the whole point. So
yeah, and but the fact that you're giving a platform for that, I'm grateful for it. It's like you bring on a lot of interesting people, and if you guys haven't subscribed to her channel, you might want to subscribe now. I'm not sure which way I'm pointing, because when it shows up, it's like you're always on the other side of me. But it's really, really important. And if you want to check out my channel, Julia Stubbe, the Galactic Channel, I facilitate these energy healing processes that are really quick and easy. They're tools for empaths. And then I also channel light language or star language, which are these transmissions which do the healing based on the vibration. So it's like a living entity almost. And so depending on what your frequency is and your vibration is, each time you listen to it or somebody else listen to it, you'll get different information, because it's like a living thing. It says, oh, let me check what her vibration is, and then the coding comes in that way. So it's really amazing. A lot of people say, well, what does it mean in English? How do you interpret this in English? And what Spirit does, or the Galactics do, my 85 team does, it's like, oh, we're just going to give you, this is about releasing fear. And that's all I get. That's all I get. And they're benevolent beings. The criteria to be on my team is they have to be of high vibration of divine love or higher, benevolent being. I actually was going through that because I had a few experiences where they were a little bit lower and it affected my physical health. And I had like three or four on the team that weren't of that caliber yet. They were working on it. And I said, well, sorry, the rule is now, because just for that. And it's like, that's okay. We've got a waiting list. It's like, I was like, oh, cool. So it's still the 85 team. And so it's a lot of fun as far as that goes when they guide me to channel. So even if some of those channels, you get to some of those videos and those transmissions, and it's like from a year ago and it's about joy, it's still going to apply now. Or to release fear, it's going to release the fear now that you're entangled in with this world. So like I said, it's a living thing. There's a lot of choices. And if you want to see other interviews or conversations, I even have a playlist with that, because I've been putting myself out there, because Spirit said people need to get to know you on a personal level. And it's been interesting because I always was under the radar, a covert mission and transmuting the energies for the planet. And so to put myself out there in front of everybody and be vulnerable is what I've been doing lately, really telling my story of where I've come from. But anyway, back to what were we going to do? Oh, I was going to tell you
Well,
what I was going to offer, but you can ask questions about that.
well, I love what you just said. And I also actually want to go back to that, because what you were sharing there in regards to your past offerings on your channel, anyone that has, first of all, we're going to make sure that every way manageable to get to you will be in the show more section of this video. So a link to Julia's channel will be there, to her website, everywhere you can get in touch with her about everything that she has to offer. But the information that you offered in regards to your channelings being living entities that continue on, those that have followed this channel for a while, they kind of get that, I feel, because I didn't at first, but that is something that I now really do grok, that all of our conversations carry codes, transmissions of all sorts. And then as these, because these are what BZ always refers to as energetic envelopes that contain those living entities that you spoke of, those codes and transmissions. And so I really do feel like if a person is drawn to anything on your site, explore it. Because magnetically being drawn to something, there's something in it for me, or I wouldn't be magnetically drawn.
Right. I always say, follow your heart, follow the breadcrumbs, because you never know where it's going to lead. And it's like your connection, you really want to make sure you're anchored into earth and connected to source, because that's really a really good way to be in your heart space. And ask questions. It's like, universe, what would be to my most benefit right now for me to explore? And let the universe open up those doors. And it's like, ooh, that makes my heart go, ooh, oh yeah, I want to check that out. And then if you trust, it's like, because I manifest and I create magic all the time, and I'm always amazed, even though I know I can, but I still am always amazed, and I'm always grateful. If you're supposed to do it, it's like it all falls into place, like do. But if you're afraid, like, oh, I'm not sure I can do this, I might not have the money, it's like, is this going to be too much? And you start bringing your vibration down, then you're probably not going to manifest it, because it's like you've already decided that you're not going to get it. The way I always like to look at it is, you're at a hallway, and it's like you have one door at the end, and when you're in conclusion of how it's going to show up, you have that one doorway. Hopefully it's open, but that's what it looks like. And if it doesn't show up that way, it's like you're blind. But if you say, universe, what else is possible? How does it get better than this? Along that hallway, all these little doors open up, and all these possibilities show up. And it's like, wow, look at this. And it's like, I never even thought I would like this photography class, but I'm just going to take it. It's like, it might not be with what, in the healing energy, but oh my gosh, and here I meet another person who has similar things, and it's like, oh my gosh, we talk light language together. Or they're here, it's like, oh, it's like I work on videos, it's like I can support you with your videos YouTube channel, and maybe trade you for a healing or session, so you want to really be open to that, because it's like there's just so much magic out there. And right now we need to be creating magic. It's like, and we really need to trust it. So how you start is keeping yourself clear, be in that higher vibration, and be detached from how it shows up, because it shows up many ways. And I laugh at myself all the time, because I'm like, whoa, look at how this showed up. It's like, wow, it's like, this is interesting. I'm going to like this. Yeah. I never would have thought of this, but it's like, I'm going to enjoy it.
I love the way you put that just then. That's exactly the energy, that I can feel the energetic of what you're sharing there. And that is exactly the energetic envelope that I found myself in when I first purchased my van. And I started catching myself going over into that buyer's remorse a little bit, thinking about all those, the closed door at the end, instead of seeing all the other things that were open. And so I can surely appreciate and feel exactly what you're speaking on there, and how important it is to keep that energetic flowing in
Yeah,
that.
the vibration of it. It's like, it's just, and to really just, it's about trust and faith as well. You have that energy as well as far as that goes. And I don't know, I'm just always grateful. I mean, I'm grateful for even when things show up in a way that I really don't even like, that ends up turning out to be really something awesome, because I don't judge what it is. I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. Is there a lesson here, or am I going to just love this? It's like, what is it? What is this all about? And to have, a positive attitude, regardless of what it looks like in the 3D sense, because there's something so much more to it than what you're just seeing in the 3D.
No, I'm in so much agreement with you there. And so along those same lines, this new offering that you have coming up, I'd love to hear more about that. And I have a feeling, actually, at some point, I would love to hear more about the whole way that you have, that these come for you. So whatever you feel comfortable to share about, the process of how this happens for you, and
Okay.
also what's coming up in just a couple of weeks. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I currently, I have offerings on my site that are regular. So I have personal transformation sessions. I have group transformation programs. I have personal programs. I also have relationship choreography, where we actually work with couples, unified family dynamics, and other interpersonal relationship. I actually even do galactic card readings, because this is all things that Spirit said, okay, let's show it up. And I also do journeys. It's like, I do have a journey coming up that and I'm going to say this because it's separate from this, it's the mother Gaia connection. And that is coming up in, let me just check, I think it's next week. It is on February 19th. It's a 60 to 90 minute, and Bonnie Bird is going to join me, and we've done a few other journeys, and we're going to merge with Mother Earth and really take on that energy, and we're going to merge our chakras with her chakras. So that's available out there. It's on the website. It's $33.33 is what Spirit guided us to charge for that, as far as that goes. And you'll get access to the recording too. And if you can, if you like sign up and it's like, you're not going to be there, we call in your energy, your higher self, and connect. And we also, because there's no time and space, we'll also call you in from, if you buy the recording after the fact. So it's like, you're going to get all that energy and that beauty as far as that goes. So, and there's some past events out there. But anyway, back to this other thing. I'm calling it the Quantum Clearing and Healing Series. And because I asked Spirit or Source, however you want to look at it, I get this connection, I get really grounded, I open up my pillar of light, I expand my consciousness, and I connect with Source, and I say, Source, what is it that I'm supposed to offer for others? And they channel this information. And it's like, sometimes I have no idea what they're talking about. Sometimes I have a really good idea because I've done it in the past. One of these things I did like 15 years ago. And they said there's going to be several levels and several modules, and each module is going to have 4 sessions. So they've channeled what the first module is with the 4 sessions. And it starts on the last Saturday of the month, which is February 27th. And the first one is the crystal implant systems removal. And what we do is, and I've worked on this is the one I did like 15, 20 years ago, that I had somebody else facilitate for me. And they said, okay, you need to facilitate this for others. You're doing it anyhow. I do it when I'm on the radio show, A Call to Heal. We'll have people come on, and it's like, I actually see some of these implants in them, and it's like, they look like really tiny little Christmas tree lights, the little sparkly ones. And they're from the Mu, the Lemurian, the Starseed and Atlantean. When you were there, you've got these implants that would either dim your consciousness, don't give you access to your DNA, all kinds of things that are in your etheric field as far as to hold you back. So we're going to be pulling those out. And they, like I said, they look like little Christmas tree lights, and it's through your whole system. The Atlantean ones look a little bit different. They have different colors, and they're really anchored and tied into the chakras. So it really, when you pull this all out, it really opens it up. Like you'll have some in your hands. It's like, it's amazing what you feel like when this is all through, as far as that goes. And then the second, that one's February 27th. And then every Saturday after that, for the next, so it's a total of 4 weeks, we'll be doing another session. So the second one is where we are going to merge with the 12 aspects of soul. We currently have this aspect that we're here now. And then there's 11 aspects that are incarnate in different timelines. So I do this process with my group program that I work with, my transformation program that I work with, because it's one of the spiritual hierarchy as far as your infrastructure goes. But they said they want to do it with this process. And this is, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to release the J seals. And this is a mouthful. The J seals, they block higher dimensional frequencies. Let's see if I can, just give me a second here. I'm going to put my glasses on.
I appreciate your sharing all that you can on this, because this is very interesting.
Yeah, so these are unnatural J seals, block higher dimensional frequencies which are coming into the body, and they greatly inhibit the expansions of our consciousness. And the J seals, or the Jehovian seals, are energetic distortions that were energetically placed by the Jehovian Anunnaki. I'm not sure if I say that. I always say that wrong. Every single time I say it a different way. Anunnaki, on the excitational line 7 of the Earth within Gaia's energy grid system. And since Earth and our energetic anatomies are identical, we inherit anything that happens to the Earth at the time of conception. So when we do a J seal removal, not only are we clearing our energetic autonomy, we are also clearing that area of the Earth. And we're doing it for all aspects of our soul at the same time. So it's like really a huge clearing on all different timelines that we're doing this. And so how do I get this stuff? Because it's like, I'll be sitting in my quiet space, and it's like Spirit will say, okay, you're going to do the Christmas tree lights. I'm like, oh, the Christmas tree lights. Oh, that's right. Those are these implants from Lemuria and da 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 da. So it's like, okay, and I know what those are. It's like, so I write all that out, you know, and it's like, and then I might do a little research. It's like, just to confirm what I'm talking about, that maybe somebody else is talking about it too, but sometimes they're not. And I just trust that it's like, whatever this is. And then, so with the J seals, it's like, okay, we want you to clear the J seals. And I was like, what are they all about? I was like, I didn't really know. And it's like, it just showed up for me. And I was like, whoa, here we are. And it was like this whole pages and pages of it. I'm like, oh, this looks complicated. And it's like, and they're like, Julie, you make everything simple. You know, it doesn't have to be complicated, but we do want to complicate it a little bit by bringing in the aspects of soul. And I'm like, oh, you want us to merge the souls and do, well, yeah, we want you to merge the souls and then do the separate aspects. And I'm like, so I'm having a conversation out loud, writing down these things and talking to them, and they're answering me, and I'm writing their answers down, and it's coming through. And it's just the way I hear things. I've been clairaudient since I was a child. That is still there. That connection's still there. And like I said, I've always worked with that higher vibrational beings. So I trust. It's like, I make sure that all my rules are in place. So I don't have any tricksters coming in and pretending to be something they're not. I'm always about all that. So anywho, what?
So let me ask you, this is very interesting to me. So what I'm hearing you say is that when this one came in, the J seals weren't something that you were already very knowledgeable about. So
no, I really wasn't. I was like, what's that all about? So I went there, and I was telling you before we, started recording, it's like, I worked on it with myself, because it's like, I don't do anything for anybody else that I haven't done. And I was like, whoa, this is interesting. And I have a friend who lets me, she's always on board. Whatever you're given, I'm ready for it. And it's like, so she, said, okay, do this. And it's like, and the J seals are on the left side of your body. So we went through all the places in your body and we released them. And she said it felt like wax letting go and dripping off of her. She could feel it, but her body felt so much different after we were done. And she just loved it. And I was like, okay. And she goes, so is that all you're going to do? I said, no, when we do the thing, we're going to do all the aspects of soul too. And she goes, okay, that's why it's going to take longer. I'm like, yeah, it's like, so, and for her, I can go a little bit quicker because she's at a different vibration. Whereas with I get guided by how many whoever's on, and spirit will guide me at the perfect pace that will satisfy everybody that's on the call, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah, that makes perfect sense actually, because I've had a couple of different experiences with different, healers and teachers, and that do things very similar to what you're speaking on here, that have said that very same thing. They're guided as to, what cadence and when to do certain things at certain times. So I'm not at all surprised to hear you say that. But it's just very interesting to me, like I said, that this is something that you hadn't. I suspect this happens more often than not.
Well, there's two other things. It's like, so the third session is a portal clearing and realignment to past lives. And I work with that through the Akashic, and it's like, oh yeah, well, there's that portal. Oh, I see how that's lined up. So I was doing it, but I didn't really know it was something that I should be assisting others with. So it's like, well, you do this for yourself. Why can't you assist with other people? And then the fourth one, which is on March 20th, is called a multi-dimensional bridge alignment. And one of my gifts that I've been given is I am able to create bridges to different dimensions. So we're going to do that. There's 3 multi-dimensional bridges, and there's their gatekeepers. So we're going to activate them, align them. We're going to introduce your gatekeepers, and we'll see where we go with that. So there's more details on the website as far as if you want to get into that. What's really cool is like, so there's each session is $77 US dollars, but if you get all 4, it's $222, which is a huge savings, and you do get access to the audio. I will probably only be doing these live once, and then we're going to use the recordings, and the recordings will be put in a library that you'll be able to purchase later if you choose that. If you don't, it's like, oh, I missed that, and you'll be able to do that, because like the J seals is a level 1 J seals, because there's another part to those J seals that were in the contents that I wore, and they said they want me to do something with that, and I'm like, okay. And that's a whole nother process that I have to wait for it to come in. But that they're going to request that you have that level 1 J seal removal done first. It's not 100% necessary, but it's going to be highly recommended, so that you're really doing the whole bit.
I see. So this is just the first, really the first set.
Yeah, it's the first module. Yeah, the second, they've already shown me a couple things for the second module, and then they have some things that are like way ahead, and it's like they're just like little notes in my paper, and it's like, you know what, don't show me any of this now, please don't show me, don't confuse me, can we just stay on point? So it's like, and they have a really sense of humor, and it's like, oh, well, we'll talk about this, and then we'll tease you with a little bit of that. I'm like, oh, okay, let me see what it is.
Well, that's really cool. I would love to hear more about it as that develops, especially with when you're the second one comes in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to tell everybody is there's only a limit of 12 people, and we filled half of it already, so we only have 6 seats left as far as the dynamics go. So if it's something you want to do, you really want to visit the website and get hooked up. And like I said, you can buy if you're just guided to do a single session, that's fine too. But it's a really good deal to do all of them. And they're saying it's like it would benefit whoever finds it. It'll benefit. That's what they're telling me.
Right. So I have to say, whenever one feels drawn to something, that is there's a reason for it. That's the way I feel about that. And so awesome. Well, we'll definitely have a way for folks to get in touch. And
well, thank you.
So that's going to start. You do the first one.
It starts the last Saturday of February, which is the 27th, and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. So that, however, that does, calculates in your time zone as far as that goes. And it will be through Zoom. And what we'll do is it'll be a brief introduction as far as things go. And then what we do is we turn everybody's video off, so you're not distracted. We ask you to get in a comfortable place, maybe put an eye mask on, turn the lights out. And it's like, there we go, we're off for like 30 to 45 minutes as far as with the process go, depending on how it flows. It can flow, sometimes it flows quicker than other times it takes a little longer.
Right.
And then I bring you, I bring you back and make sure you're fully in your body. You get an opportunity to share your experience. Like, wow, I really, this was interesting for me. It's like, oh, that was different. And people get to talk to each other. If you're capable of doing that when you get back in there, you need a little bit more time for integration as far as that goes. And we really ask for grace and ease. We always set that intention for the whole process and for the integration. And they'll tell me, like, when we're doing it, it's like, okay, drink your water. And it's like, they're saying that this process will continue on for X amount of hours or X amount of days. And I get that depending on the group, because some groups it's like, we're done. And other groups it's like, oh, we need to take a little bit more time with this, because you're asking, because Julia, you know what grace and ease means, because you've done it where you didn't ask for that and you've paid the price. So I like to make sure that that's really set as an intention when we do this, besides that it's beneficial for your highest, your highest self and your highest advancement as far as your ascension journey and your awakening.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about how it went for you and for everyone else after the fact.
Okay.
Having had experienced one of your transformation sessions, I just, I have to say you're very good at what you do. So I think.
Well, I keep my channel really clear. It's like my background it's like I came into when I signed up for this world, who wants to have a little dysfunctional family that's like psychotic and violent and da 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 da? Oh, pick me! I'll try that. Let me see what I can work with. And it's like, so I had required myself to do a lot of healing, as far as that goes, and really look within myself. And so I would stuff things all the time. I was so angry, and my self-esteem and not having self-worth. So there's all those things I had to look at within myself. And anytime something shows up that's a trigger, it's like, I don't have suitcases anymore. I have this small little pocketbook that just keeps my phone in and my money in and my cards, and that's it. I don't have big things. And it's like, if it pops out, well, let's deal with this. Let's see what this is all about, so that I can be lighter. So that, because I do that, and I've been doing it for over 25 years, the process for really bringing myself into that wholeness, it keeps my channel really clear with source, which enables me to channel clearly for others, because my stuff isn't getting convoluted, and because I don't have an attachment to the results, because I can discern and detach. I'm not doing anything. I'm not a healer. I just facilitate the energy or the information to empower you, to empower yourself. It opens up the universe for so much more magic than if it's like I would claim it as my own. I refuse to claim it as my own.
Oh, but I really like that about you too, because that is that is actually the way I feel about the whole thing myself. Even some of the what they might call sacred cows about different healing modalities, I guess. And I think it's there for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there for us in ways that are perfect for each. And there's there's never, that's one of the reasons I love doing what I'm doing, because there isn't just one way. There's
many ways. There's so many ways. And it's like, and like, because you get different belief systems. It's like, and so there's different ways to explain it. So for me, it's like, okay, because we just had our group last Wednesday, and we did the merging of the 12 aspects of soul. And I had 2 of my students were having trouble comprehending what it was all about. And so I explained it different ways. And then the other one, I had a call today, and we talked through it, and she goes, now I understand it and I get it. But it also brought up beliefs that she had that we had to look at, that we could clear. So everybody's different. It's like, even within the group, it's like their reality, the way they see it, their programming. And you have to, for me, the way I look at it, I have to be very flexible, and I have to really trust source spirit to really channel through me how to be able to communicate so they're comfortable. That's really the key thing. And I share information all the time. It's like, I share, it's like, well, what's this all about? I'm not secret squirrel. I want to empower others to actually have them be able to facilitate things for themselves. So sure, I run personal programs, but if I had somebody who was looking to enhance their animal communication skill, and I've communicated with animals all the time. Did I go for a class for it? No, I just had that as a gift. I was blessed. And I said, well, I can connect you with your bridge and give you some tools to use. And it's like, yeah, we can do that in a 30-minute session, da, 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 da. Next thing I know, it's like she's communicating with her dog that passed away, giving her information, about her cats and this and that. And she's communicating with that. It's like, I gave her the tools. I'm not selling her a course. I'm not doing a course. I know that's not the way I operate. It's like, sure, I probably could financially do well that way, but that's not who I am. I don't, there's other people that teach that, and that's their gift. And if that's what they want to do, but I just like, oh, let me just give you a little boost here, connect you with past lives when you were an animal communicator. Let's access that DNA. Let's clear any beliefs that are keeping you from doing it, da, 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 and we're done. And then there you go, blast off. And that could be with anything that you're doing. That's that bridge thing that spirit has me do. That always amazes me. It's like, so do you see the 12 beings across the bridge? Yeah, they're all different colors too. I'm like, okay, they're all the aspects of you. Okay, so can we just talk to them and see what's going on?
Well, but that's really cool that you recognize that as a gift for yourself, that because not everyone has found that for themselves. So that's really awesome that you found that, and that you're able to help make those connections.
Yeah, I think
I find fascinating in the way that you do.
It's just one of the gifts. It's like, because I've kept my channel really clear and I'm always working on raising my vibration. I've been transmuting energy for the planet probably for the last 30, 35 years. And it was just a matter of how to be grounded, to be able to hold that light and that energy. I had to learn that. And because my physical body was taking a toll. I've been clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant since birth, as far as that goes. My son is 30. I think he just turned 30. And I still remember he despised his mother because he couldn't get away with anything. It's like, I remember we were at a grocery store and he was like 8 years old or 9 years old, somewhere in there. He goes, I'll be right back. I want to go check out that magazine. I'm like, oh, you want to see about the article and this and this and da 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 da. And he would turn around and he goes, stop doing that. And I said, well, stop thinking so loud. It's like, I could hear his thoughts. It's like, I don't mind read, but I hear thoughts. So it's like when your mouth is saying one thing and your mind's saying another, it's like, obviously something's not here. So it was heck on relationships too, because it's like people don't always want to come clean with everything that's happening. But it's like, if you're going to be in a relationship with me, it's like, there are no secrets. So you might want to find a place to hide, and there's really no place to hide. So that makes life quite interesting and quite entertaining.
I bet it does. My housemate Lisa is very intuitive in that way too, and she calls that a being is either they're congruent or they're incongruent. And so that's really quite awesome when you have that and I love the fact that that's something that we all have. It's just a matter of our focus and attention, and whether or not we desire to develop that focus and that attention in that particular direction or that particular gift. And
well, there is that, but there's also, are you willing to look inside yourself to really make sure your channel is really clear? Because a lot of and there's no judgment here because everybody's different, but a lot of ones that I'm seeing is like, oh, they've got their psychic gifts, and it's like they're all about the flash. They're all about the stick of dynamite. It's like, whoo, I got to channel this and I got to be there and I got to see that. And they're not using discernment. They're not working on clearing themselves. So they're picking up all this stuff, and it's like they don't recognize when there's a trickster. And so they're taking false information and they're allowing their codes and their DNA to be manipulated. Because even when you're looking at with the higher self, it's still manipulating your data, but it's manipulating for your highest good, for that higher vibration. When you get your manipulation from a lower vibrational, it's like they're taking your energy from you, they're taking your power from you. So So yes, a lot of people are awakening their gifts, but it's not exactly whether they're awakening that full ascension, because that full ascension is about really looking within yourself and really healing, because that is your main purpose for coming to Earth, is to really become whole, learn all the things that you wanted to learn, that you signed up for or were volunteered for,
Right.
and be able to really raise your vibration. And even if you don't know what your gifts are, and you think you need to be doing something huge, like, oh, I should be reading this, or I should be doing that. I want to heal people, but I don't know how. I don't know what that is, or whatever. Be kind, be compassionate, love yourself, because with you raising your vibration, taking care of yourself, you're raising your vibration, and raising the vibration of those around you, and your ripples go way beyond what you can imagine up here.
No, that's true. That's absolutely so. I love that you shared that in just that very kind of way. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Our ripples go quite far, actually.
Yeah, and that's and it doesn't matter whether they're kind ripples or they're bitchy ripples, pardon my language. They're still your ripples. So what do you want out there? What do you want to put out there? So you want to, it's a choice. It's like some days it's harder to choose, and I get that.
Yeah.
But we have the choice to be in joy. We have the choice to be in bliss. And if something triggers us, we have the choice to look at it, or we have the choice to ignore it, or choice to blame it on somebody else. We have that choice. We have that free will. Thank gosh we do. But we don't always take advantage of that free will. It's
No.
like we just let somebody else make the choices for us. It's like, and we don't really look at it.
Well, that's what, for me, I think a lot of folks that's part of the awakening. A lot of folks have had a belly full of what this whole not paying attention to our focus and attention, because that's how, we create through our focus and attention. And you just hit that if we're not paying attention to where we're putting our focus and attention, then someone else is all too happy to direct it in a manner in which we may not totally agree.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah. And we don't, and sometimes it's like it looks pretty and it looks exciting. And like, 3 months later, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? It's like, oh, I feel like this. It's like, and it's like, to get yourself out of that then is like, whoa, because you don't know what you're in. When it's like, even sometimes, like when I'm in my own poop, so to speak, it's like, I'm just in poop, and it's like, I can't see the outside of the poop. So I don't know what kind of poop it is and how to do it. So it's like, I can clear as much as I can. And every once in a while I need a little help from somebody else. So it's like, and then I surrender to that. And it's like, can you see what's going on in my poop? It's like, I need to clear it completely out. And then just with the knowledge that, oh, I see this and this. And I'm like, oh, thank you for that. All right, now I can work with my poop, and I can transmute it and send it off. For example, which is not my poop, it's my cat. My Dylan, he gets this liquid in his ear, in his left ear, and I do 3D stuff. I put antibiotic cream in it, and I do energy work with it, but it keeps coming back, and I'm like, what is that? And I was working with someone who communicates with animals yesterday, and I said, and I facilitate a little something for her, and I said, so I'm going to go lay with Dylan. I said, can you look at what's going on, because this keeps coming back? And she could see that he had a very narrow ear canal. And so since I didn't see that, I went in and expanded his ear canal, and she could see it expanding. And he was a little afraid of the whole thing, but it's going to allow the fluid to move back and forth clear. But I couldn't see that piece of it. It's like, I just kept like, oh, there's got to be something else here that I'm missing, because it keeps coming back. What is that piece? And that's the same way with ourselves. It's like, if it keeps coming back, there's a piece you're missing. And sometimes it's because you're in that, you can't really see it. So that's where, whether it's me or someone else that, is of a higher vibration that you're attracted to, it's really nice to have someone like that you can make a session with, and you can get you over the hump so that you can do some more work on your own. You know,
Right.
that's the way I look at it. I don't want to be there like every day for you. I just want to empower you so that you can like really do things for yourself. But if you get in poop, it's like, then I'm here, you know. But if you're doing the work, it's like the poop will be less and less and prettier sometimes.
I kind of like the way you refer to that. So we all have our poop we have to deal with.
Yes, we do.
That poop is just so great. We can't see it from inside the poop hall. We have to.
Yeah, it's like when you're in poop, it's like it's all around you. It's like there's just poop everywhere. So
Right.
you need somebody that's outside the poop to say, "Oh, you've got this going on. Oh, all right, let me connect to that."
And then you come to my very most favorite, and the for me, the absolute bottom line to all of it. You have to be open to hearing what that other person is trying to share with you about where you are in your poop. Otherwise, you're just going to end up being stuck in that poop for the longest time. So you got to be open too.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. But it's like to me, it's like, because sometimes people just aren't ready. It's like you have the power to change your story, you know. However, it's like it's scary when you don't know what the new story is, you know, and to really change that. So there's fear there, and it's justifiable, because it's like, wow, it's like because like I came from, my mom was a psychotic alcoholic. There was physical, and there was also sexual abuse, and I picked relationships that mirrored that because that's all I knew. So how do you find something new, and how do you change your beliefs and your behavior to accept something different when
Right.
that's all you know? So when somebody you see that, it's like, well, they're always making that same choice. You got to have compassion for people like that, for their story, because they're stuck in their story and they don't know other options. They don't know how to do it, and it's scary because that's what they know. Some people can do it on their own. I mean, I had to do, you know, I did talk therapy in my 20s, and that gave me some pieces to like, oh, it's not selfish to want something for myself. Okay, it's like, it's all right, there's this and that. It's like, so I got to really take a look at myself and start asking for, I started loving myself and having more self-worth through that talk. But then, you know, then I was doing energy work, which made me look deep within inside my inner child and really go through that. So it's a process. It's all these layers. It's always like, they always say, it's like an onion, and you're just doing layers, and you think you've worked with something, but you're actually at a deeper level now. And now you can go to a deeper level of that same thing. So it's, yes, you worked on it, and but you're at a point where it's like, you can really look at something at a deeper level, and it's not going to flip you out. So you just do it one step at a time. It's like, okay, it's like, all right, I'm just going to work on this piece. And can I just get through this where I can let go of this so I can move forward? I had this traumatic event that happened in my teens. Can we look at that? And can we readjust and see what we can do, that we can change your DNA, your coding, so that that can ripple into the now, and that's going to shift. So you do things like that, and it's just, I just like it because it's like, I just see magic happen, and it's like, wow, it's like, because I started doing this within the last 3 months, because I go into the Akash, so I go into your past lives, and I work with the energies. I don't work with the stories. I work more with the energies of the past lives. But every once in a while, a story comes up because we're down to that last one, that trigger. So I have been guided to do time travel within the lifetime. And I'm like, whoa, what's that? So say you met this relationship, and it was like a teacher, and he was into the dark arts. And it's like, you met them, and it's like, okay, so when did you meet him in that lifetime? Okay, you were like 17. So let's go back and let's see what other options you have there. And maybe you can choose something else. So let's talk to yourself, and that, like, you know, have that older self talk, and talk that higher self, and talk, and make a different choice. And so they'll make a different choice. And then we time forward, and it's like, well, where are you now? Oh, it's like, I'm in this family. It's like, I have kids, and it's like, I've got this really stable relationship. And that, because you weren't looking for the void, that dark entity didn't latch onto you. So it changes in that lifetime, and then any cords that are tied to that lifetime to this time, it all shifts. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't know I could time travel within a lifetime. Oh, monkey brain is like out to here. how did that happen? But I was doing a session the one time and they said, just do it, Julia. And I'm like, okay. And so I've been like taking advantage of that ever since that they showed me that that was something. So you could try that, anybody who does that kind of stuff. It's like, you could try that. It was fun.
Wow, that's really good that you're discovering even those kind of nuances within. That's, yeah, I would have never thought of something.
Yeah, it's just they showed me that because it's like oh well, you can time travel in this lifetime. Why can't you time travel in that lifetime? Because there's no time or space. We're all in this continuum. I'm like, well, that's true. And it's like you know, as my head's like trying to wrap around it, and I'm facilitating a session. Okay, get out of your head, Julia, and just facilitate. You can think about all this later, and then you'll see it. But you can see now or hear that the person on the other end who is the client, wow, I feel so much lighter. And the connections are so much different now. It's like, and how the magic, how that ripple of switching that all around affected the current status in this lifetime.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
It's like, oh, my head's going poof. It's like,
well, I really appreciate you coming and having this chat with us and sharing, you know, what you've been up to and this new offering that you're going to be having. I'm really looking forward to hearing more about that. And you know, and I know you're going to have another module that will follow along.
Yeah, we'll see what we'll see what they have with that. It's proving to be quite, for me, it's just, I'm just always amazed of what shows up and however it is, because it's out there, it's stuff that not everybody's doing or hasn't even heard of, and it's amazing what it does. And some of it, like I said, I've been doing some of it myself, and then like out of these 4 things, 3 of them I've worked on with myself, and the J seals was the new one. I'm like, what is that all about? You know, so it's like, oh, here, read this. I'm like, oh yeah, I get that, I feel that. And then it's like, and then there's all these other supplement seals or something. I'm like, we'll do the supplements later, I'm not looking at those right now. I'm like, okay.
Let's do these first. Well, that, like I said, we're going to have a way in the show more section for anyone and everyone to get in touch with you.
Excellent.
That feels so drawn. And you said you have 6 spaces left.
Yes.
For this one that's being offered beginning February the 27th. Is that correct?
Right. And then the one that's next Friday, which is the Mother Gaia connection, we still have, because that's not limited. That's just going to be a guided journey that Bonnie Bird and I take you on. And it's really going to be magical. And it's fun to hook up with her energy because she sees things similar that I do. And she brings something different when we're doing these journeys than I do. So it's pretty amazing.
Okay, awesome. So the connection to Gaia is the 19th.
I believe so. I believe it's next Friday.
Okay, awesome. Well, we're going to have links to all of those things for everyone in the show more section, along with a way to subscribe to your channel, Julia Stubbe, the Galactic channel. Her YouTube channel will also be linked. So if you have already subscribed over here to Conscious Conversation Central, make sure to go over and subscribe at Julia Stubbe, the Galactic channel. As I said, I'll have a link directly to her YouTube channel over there. And by the same token, if you're subscribed to Julia, I would love to add you to Conscious Conversation Central.
Yeah, and if you look under channels in my YouTube channel, it's like her channel's there, so it's easy to find, easy peasy. I like to keep it that way.
Awesome. I think we have your channel located under mine as well.
Yeah, we did an exchange that way, so it's easy to find as far as that goes. So
right, so be sure and go over there and double click that little notification bell, because that will let you know when either one of us have uploaded videos or if we happen to go live. So I thank you so much for coming and chatting with me.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate you.
And I look forward to our doing another conversation at any time. And I would love to hear from everyone who does go, come let us know how this goes with you.
Okay,
So,
I'll send them your way.
I would love that. We'll have a conversation after your your next after your next module there. I'd love to talk with folks if they were interested.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so till next time, everyone, choose joy. Mwah.
Bye.